Hey, what's up, everybody? Let's talk Jets Radio. Kevin Sirkin here. First and foremost, just want to make sure you guys are all healthy and you're safe and you're doing well out there amidst all this panic and everything going on with the coronavirus. At the very least, what we can do here is, try to provide at least a little bit of a distraction and bring some sense of normalcy, and talk some football. So, with that being said, today was the opening day of the legal tampering period with NFL free agency, and it really couldn't have gotten any better for the Jets. I say that completely sarcastically because this is what we've been talking about for weeks. And let me just start by saying this. Let me just start with this. For everybody that's been calling in for the past 4 to 5 weeks, bitching and complaining that the Jets need to trade Jamal Adams, what were we using that cap space on exactly? What free agents were we paying that want to come here? George Fant? Philip Dorsett? But no, hey, let's trade Jamal Adams. That's fine. No big deal. Tomorrow night, everybody that called in talking about trading Jamal Adams, you better call in and try and redeem yourselves. Because that take, shoot it to the freaking moon. Because there's no explanation at all for trying to trade a player of Jamal Adams when you cannot attract talent to your organization. So that's first and foremost. Now let's talk about the way that the rest of this day has unfolded. So it started out with news that the Jets were likely to lose Fant Jenkins, and for me, that absolutely hurts. He was one of the first players that I had the pleasure of interviewing once I started doing all this stuff with Let's Talk Jets Radio and with NYSF Mag. He invited us into his apartment, and it was crazy. He was fresh off being a third-round pick. He had next to nothing in his apartment. I'm talking, he had just gotten a couch that day. I think he had just purchased his first TV as well, and there was literally, I think, maybe like a dining room table, and I don't think there was anything else there. And, this kid has just worked his ass off, and he has earned every bit of the contract that he's going to get with whoever it is, and it's just unfortunate that it's not going to be with the Jets because he's become a true leader over the last couple of years. He might not be as flashy or as vocal as a guy like Jamal Adams or be the kind of impact edge player that a lot of fans want, but he's still a very solid pro who, like I said, who has earned his payday. So shout out to him. It's just a shame that it's not going to be with the Jets because he was probably the top free agent that I wanted them to re-sign. Not much news on Robbie Anderson or Brian Poole. At this point, I'm expecting them to probably just go elsewhere because it doesn't look like Joe Douglas is really willing to overpay for anybody at this stage. And that includes a guy like Jack Conklin. And to me, it's just amazing. We've had, I don't know how many weeks of this show where everybody said, Jack Conklin, that's the priority. That's the guy we need to get. Look at the comments, look at the calls, everywhere. Jack Conklin. Yet he signs a deal for 3 years, $42 million, and reports come out that the Jets didn't even approach that number. And we're supposed to be okay with it, and we're supposed to be okay with the fact that they signed George Fant instead for 3 years, $30 million. And screw me the details on the guarantees. I think Conklin got like $30 million guaranteed and Fant only got like $14 million guaranteed. Yeah, because it's more likely that you're going to be replacing him in another year or two than you are replacing Jack Conklin. And it's just amazing to me also that you have so many people now that are saying that Jack Conklin isn't very good. Where did this come from? All of a sudden, he's not athletic. He wouldn't be a good fit for Gase's system. That's the problem, that Adam Gase doesn't adjust his system to fit the strengths of good players. Players like Le'Veon Bell, players like Jack Conklin, right? Who would have been a great addition at right tackle, but no, he's not athletic enough to fit Adam Gase's system. So we needed to sign somebody like Fant, who has a basketball background, even though he has a lower PFF rating than Kelvin Beachum. What sense does this make? Honestly, I don't get it. I truly don't get it. But I'm going to try and be patient. I'm going to try and give Joe Douglas an opportunity here, and just see how these moves play out. I just don't understand it for the life of me. It doesn't make any sense. And, on top of that, you also had the news that Graham Glasgow, he signed elsewhere. Joe Thuney, he got the franchise tag from the Pats, so you're not going to be able to sign him. So all these, big-time additions that everyone's been talking about for months that the Jets were going to have to get if they wanted to compete in 2020, well, now it looks like we're looking at George Fant and who knows what else on the offensive line. So to me, this day was just a massive failure for the Jets. Obviously, there's still plenty of time for it to turn around. There's still, opportunities to trade for Trent Williams or sign a guy like Connor McGovern or somebody like that. But this definitely was not the kind of start I think that Jet fans were hoping for today. So let's hope for some better news tomorrow, and we'll be live 8 o'clock. We'll be talking all about it. We expect it to be a pretty wild show. So definitely tune in, call in. We'll talk to you guys then.